Welcome everybody out to another episode of Windshield Time at Mountainland Supply. I'm Joey Little. I'm here as always with our CEO, Brandon Johnson, and we are joined as always by our producer / get it done guy, Spencer Schwartz. So we're glad to have everybody in with us again today. Today we're going to be talking about something that is kind of a new thing that we've been doing here at Mountainland. A lot of you have heard of something called Giving Hope. So you've heard of Mountainland Giving Hope or the Giving Hope organization, or you've seen the posters around. Likely you've seen something happen with deductions on payroll lately that says that we're moving away from one thing and going to another. So we're here to kind of give you a little bit of a background as to why Giving Hope exists, what Giving Hope is, and then that'll hopefully let you know that it's a really, really cool thing that not every company either has the ability to do or has the want to do. So Giving Hope is, in short, the charitable arm of Mountainland Supply. So it's something that we decided a few years ago that we have always dabbled in our philanthropic efforts, and we decided that we're going to do this a little bit more.
We're going to be
deliberately,
more
right?
Committed.
Yeah, do it more deliberately, and do it with a purpose, and then do it so that you guys can really see the efforts and you can see what we're doing, and that you have a little bit more exposure to it.
Yeah,
is that about right?
I think that's fair. Yeah. So if you rewind, man, how many? So we've been together. Our executive team has been together for about 4 years now. I think we're coming up on 4 years next month, right? Mm-hmm. In February. So prior to that, the executive team, we kind of put together what I guess we call now our 4 commitments. Mm-hmm. Before then, it was kind of before our core values we had these commitments, and one of them was we're committed to enriching our community. Mm-hmm. And by the way, that's a beautiful that. How it was worded, I think it was a beautiful thing, and enriching our community. And you looked at Mountainland in the past and how we kind of did that, and we did it, but we didn't do it deliberately. We didn't do it collectively. It was independently by all the different branches. You'd have these different branches that would, hey, we're gonna donate $500 here, or we're gonna do this, but it wasn't this common goal of where we're all working together.
It wasn't unified.
No.
Yep.
And so when this executive team came together, I remember one of the very first meetings, I brought it up and said, are we going to do this or are we not? Because if we're not going to do this, then let's get it off.
Yeah.
Because let's not put it up there saying that we're going to do something and then not do it. Let's actually do what we're going to do. And I remember going into that meeting thinking to myself, like, this is probably going to come off. There's going to be, because in the past, our mentality used to always be profit. And that takes away from a profit. And so when we talked about that, surprisingly, everybody, it was unanimous. No, we're committed to this. This is something we want to do, and let's do it better.
What's interesting is just like our core values have kind of changed, and not changed, but we've kind of adopted new core values over time, or we've kind of tweaked them a little bit. This commitment also changed because it used to be we are committed to creating wealth.
Yeah.
And we changed that about a year into it because that's not really what we meant. When everybody thinks of wealth, they think of a person getting wealthy.
Dollar signs.
Right.
Yeah.
What we meant was wealth equals satisfaction, equals success
Yep.
for everybody. And we didn't have the community piece in there, but we really meant community, you know? And so I think when we changed it to enriching the communities that we're in, that's really who we are and what we meant by it. And then this Giving Hope is just the next step in that commitment.
That evolution is really what it is. And, even when we started it out 4 years ago, it was kind of, okay, what are we doing here? And we went through a process of, we actually set up a qualified 501c3 for those that don't know what that means. That's actually a charity that has been vetted out by the IRS. We have a letter saying we are a charity. And so basically any contributions you make to that can be written off on your taxes. And so that was as donations. And so that was one of my big things is if we're going to do this, let's make it legit. Let's, get it registered with the state. Let's get the IRS involved. Let's make sure that this is a legit thing, because all the way up to actually this year, we've been taking these, you can defer from your paycheck into primary children's, but really there hasn't been a mechanism behind it we've had checks and balances to make sure that all the money collected does get paid, but it's not going into a charity per se. And so that was kind of our big goal as we've gone along, is to make sure that, okay, now let's get this into a charity, a 501c3, that's actually by the IRS says, hey, this is a charity, a legit charity. And so now you can take those donations. And so that's why you see this past year, right at the beginning, we're saying, okay, now we're shifting everything that's being withheld from your paychecks. We want it to go over here to the Giving Hope, not necessarily so we're changing where the money's going. It's just now it's a legit organization. It's going to be something that you can take a tax write-off now. Those are the things that, as we evolved over, that's what it is. And Giving Hope, over the past few years, it's grown. Yeah. And we got some cool things that I think are going to be coming up in this next year. Just this past few weeks, we've been talking about, I'm not going to say what it is, but partnering up with some large organizations. Yep. With Giving Hope and making it, getting it out there even more so that people can participate with it. It's going to be, it's a crazy thing to see come to pass, I guess, really, and really proud of it and excited for it to be able to see where it can go in the future.
Yeah. One of the unique things about Giving Hope that doesn't always happen with charities is that Mountainland Supply fully funds the administration of Giving Hope. Yeah. So when you look at the donations that go into Giving Hope, 100% of those donations go to the charities that we pick. And one thing that we're going to be implementing this year is a steering committee that's made up of employees that will be the ones who really decide where those funds are to be directed. In the past, we've had an awesome, extremely worthy charity in Primary Children's, and the arm that we've chosen to donate through has been the Festival of Trees. And then we've done discretionary contributions by the company, and those will still be going in there. But the payroll deductions have gone to Festival of Trees. Yeah. And that's awesome, and we love that as a philanthropic opportunity. But Festival of Trees doesn't exist in Arizona or in Kansas, in Idaho, So as we've kind of spread out geographically, it makes less and less sense to all of our employees. And we want to be able to do things that are more local in those locations so that they can really feel that their efforts are rewarding the community that they're in. And before, that choice was never given to the employees. The only way that we could give that choice to them is to change it so that everything goes to Giving Hope, and then Giving Hope can in turn make those donations on their behalf.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably been one of the struggles that we've seen over the past few years, is we continue to grow and the geographical footprint continues to grow too, as Primary Children's doesn't necessarily make sense for everyone. No. Now, with that being said, we're not moving away from Primary Children's or, Festival of Trees. Well, most people don't know this, but we actually have a commitment we made 2 years ago, I believe it was, with Primary Children's, that we would give them $1 million over 5 years. Yeah. And so we're right in the middle of that, where we don't shy away from that. And if you look at that, that's really Mountainland stepping up and saying, hey, we're going to make this commitment. And really what it is to be able to do that, they were able to start a program down here in Utah that they were looking to do. And but again, it's only Utah that benefits from that. And so really to take that and to say, where can we go for the next step and how do we do that? I think Giving Hope is the way to do that for all of our employees. Mm-hmm. And outside of our company too, there's going to be people that donate into it as well. And so, you have this. Primary Children's is a beautiful organization, and they do need the money, and that's why we've committed to them. Taking a different perspective on this, there's other organizations out there too that you don't have to make $1 million commitment to them. You can make a $5,000 commitment to them, and you can make a huge impact for their organization.
It's very
as well.
meaningful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've seen that. We've partnered up with a few of them where we've done, $5,000 or $10,000 here and there. And these are beautiful organizations as well, helping. There's one, in fact, that we helped. I think we made about a $10,000 commitment to them. And it was for helping women that have been abused be able to find a job, housing, or education.
Yeah.
To be able to now leave whoever's abusing them and be able to survive on their own. What are those needs? And it's a beautiful organization that we were introduced to. And, for me, it tugged at my heartstrings. I was like, let's do this. And they actually asked for a smaller commitment of $5,000.
Yeah.
And we said, hey, we'll give you 10.
Yeah.
And it was, when we did that, they are so emotional just for that, because it makes such a huge impact. So there's so many of those that are out there that even our employees know of that can be very impactful too. And so we've been able to have that. We've had employees come up to us and say, hey, I know about this, or I got a customer doing this or something like that, that we've been able to help, that I think makes just as much of an impact as what our commitment is to primary children's.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go away from primary children's, but at the same time, I want to make more impacts with more organizations. And so that's kind of where we're seeing and what we want to do. And with the steering committee, I really love that we get that input from our employees to say, this is what's meaningful to us. This is what we want to do. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to be the one making all the decisions of, well, this one means more to me and this one means great to me and da-da-da. I want to also what's meaningful to everybody else. So that's a beautiful thing that I'm looking forward to. And sorry, I'm going to just keep rambling here, but you also mentioned one thing that I think you didn't gloss over, but we need to bring back to. There is no administration cost to this. Mm-hmm. Every penny that comes into Giving Hope gets donated back out. A lot of people don't realize that when you donate to some of these bigger foundations, there's overhead costs.
There's some to an extreme amount.
Yeah, to the point of, for every dollar that you donate, 95 cents of that dollar goes to overhead costs. And only a nickel out of that dollar that you donated actually goes to the cause or the charity that you're thinking your money's going to.
Yeah.
You're paying someone's salary, you're paying stuff like that. That all those, we do have people tied to Giving Hope, but their salaries don't come out of it. That actually gets paid by Mountainland. We wanted to make sure that everything that gets donated to Giving Hope gets donated back out.
Yeah.
We don't need to take anything for it. We've been extremely blessed in our company, and we want to make sure that has the most impact in helping others and blessing other people's lives as well. So
yeah,
it's a huge thing to be able to do that. And to be honest with everybody, will we be able to maintain that? Crossing my fingers, I hope so. I hope that we can figure this out so that we can do it. There might be a time that we have to take some overhead costs out, but for the near future, we're not planning on doing that. We don't need to. So anyways, but it's a really cool, it's kind of one of those things that's surreal, right? We're doing this.
Yeah.
And it's a lot harder than I thought it would be. I don't know about you, but
yeah, it is.
It's taken a lot more time and dedication to it. I thought it would be something that would be like, oh, you set it up and hey,
you set it and forget it.
Yeah. But we've had to put a lot of time and effort into it, and we've had to bring in a lot of resources to be able to make sure that it keeps going. And it's got some pretty cool, the future it's going to be pretty cool for it.
It's really got some awesome momentum. It's got, so Chris De Herrera is who we have running that day to day. So you guys can see her in the directory. She will be the one who will be reaching out and creating the opportunity for people to be on the steering committee. So if this is something that really is, something that talks to you and kind of feeds you, please volunteer. I can tell you now, it won't be a compensated position.
It's a volunteer.
But those who want to be on that steering committee are going to want to be on it for the right reasons.
Oh, for sure.
And, Brandon and I, like Brandon was saying, the administration does not come out of the coffers of Giving Hope. So we don't get paid when we go doing stuff for Giving Hope. And that's the whole point of it. Brandon said, we have been very blessed. We have been very blessed at this company to be able to do what we do, and with the people we do it and the resources we have is an awesome thing. And we need to be able to give back and show that we truly are grateful for that and help those who are less fortunate.
I feel like it's almost a responsibility.
It is.
That we have, right? In the community, in all the different communities that we have is, a lot of people view us as we're a big player. And because of that, I think we do have that responsibility to say, hey, because of that, we also need to help out with those that are less fortunate. And how can we do that? And there's so many organizations out there and so many people that need help. There really are. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to help everybody.
No, we still have to do it responsibly.
Yep. Maybe someday. That'd be cool. Maybe that should be our goal, is we're going to help everybody. But
everybody.
We're going to have world peace, too.
Yeah, sunshine and rainbows,
but
unicorns.
It's one of those that the goal is to try and help as many people as we can and have that impact.
Yep.
So it's a cool thing. I'm very grateful to be a part of it. I'm glad that our executive team, when we proposed it 4 years ago, hey, what are we doing? Everybody was on board with it. And that just speaks to the type of people that sit around that table.
To a person, everybody wanted in.
Yep. And it's not just from professional side, but a personal side too.
Yeah.
Every single person around that table I know would give the shirt off their backs to anybody in need. So it was kind of naive of myself to be able to think that, we're going to kick this out. And I should have known better. But I learned.
It's okay. We learn as we go.
But it's a great thing to be a part of, and I'm glad that we're doing it. And again, just stay tuned for a little bit for the next, probably a few more months.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
maybe
a few
sooner.
weeks, yeah.
Hopefully a little bit sooner, but we got a pretty cool thing that I think is going to be phenomenal. I think it's really going to propel that and get that name out there even more, partnering up with some phenomenal organizations. So stay tuned. We'll have some announcements.
We'll try and make you proud.
Yeah. We try every day.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, thank you all for jumping in and spending a little bit windshield time with us. And we'll see you on down the road.
Have a good one, everyone.
See you guys.